getting a little bit interesting here. Over the last several models of GFS, there's been tons of support of a potential winter system to impact portions here of the eastern country just before Christmas. In this video, we'll talk about if that is true and if we can potentially see a system down in time. We're also going to be talking about this big cool down that's set to drive a lot of cold air, potentially well into like the negative 30s, potentially across portions of the north. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that, my friends. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another forecast here for today. My name is Andrew Heischman, and I'm the lead forecaster here in WW116. Hope everyone's having an amazing Friday, by the way. Hope everyone's been staying safe regarding all the crazy weather we've been dealing with, from the snow to the north to the severe storms to the south. So we're going to be talking about, as mentioned before, the upcoming potential winter system that could drive its way across the east just before Christmas. We're going to have a talk about that on the models. But first off, we're going to take a look here at the current conditions kicking off across the country. We are still dealing with a lot of heavy snow across portions here of New York State, into portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and even portions of Maine. Now, this snow is going to hang around for a while until about Sunday afternoon, and all that moisture will move its way out of the country. Now, across portions here of the Ohio Valley, we are seeing a little bit of rainfall across portions here of central Ohio, followed by a lot of snowfall, actually driving its way across portions here of Michigan, into portions of Illinois, Iowa, and even up into portions here of the northern plains, like North and South Dakota, including portions here of Minnesota. Now, if we zoom in here to the current radar view, by the time you're watching this is probably going to be a little bit out of date, but we do have some snow squall warnings talking about heavy amounts of snowfall, meaning a lot of quick accumulations over a short period of time. So watch out for that, as some heavy snow out of some of these showers could be quite nasty. Now, across the southern portions here of the country, we have a little bit of moisture driving its way across portions here of Louisiana into portions here of Mississippi, but honestly, nothing much is really expected out of it. And lastly, the western United States is absolutely dry, as we are seeing high pressure build into the region. We are going to see some very cold temperatures down in time, so obviously we're going to have to watch out for that. But anything other than that, not really much is expected across these areas here anytime soon. Moving on over here into the future radar, my friends, taking a look here at the conditions that could be potentially expected here over the next few days. So as mentioned before, across the northeast, we are still dealing with a lot of snow across these regions. Basically, that low pressure system over across portions of the north has pretty much decayed and kind of died out for the most part, just kind of slowly moving to the northeast. That was the main system that drove all the severe weather and all the snow across portions here of the north and the severe storms across the south. Now watch this. We have a new low pressure system that developed across the northeast United States, really driving all that heavy snow. As we track our way down here in time, this is going to continue basically here until portions here of Sunday. And like I said, high pressure will be building in across a lot of the country, leading to pretty much sunny skies for the most part, not much rainfall across a lot of the entire United States. There's going to be some areas across the south that could see a little bit of rainfall, but other than that, my friends, I mean, it's going to be relatively dry for the next 3 days or so once the system moves out. So now we're moving on into the GFS model. So now we're going to talk about that potential winter system that could drive some snow across the east. So as mentioned before, we have these two little low pressure systems tracking their way here basically to the northeast. Those will move out of the area, and then watch what happens. We have the high pressure build through. We have a big blast of cold air that starts moving down into the country, and you notice how snow, according to the GFS model, starts to fall across the central plains, getting a kick of moisture here from the south. Low pressure system develops across the southeastern United States quite strong, potentially throwing some heavy snow across portions here of the Midwest to the Tennessee, Ohio Valley, eventually into the Mid-Atlantic, and who knows, maybe even the Northeast, being exited by Christmas. So that is something we might need to watch out for. But like I said, this is still not set in stone. This system's existence is still not 100% certain here. But I will tell you guys something. So this was the run from the recent 6 hours. We go back 6 hours on another run of GFS. It still shows that system impacting the north. Go back another 6 hours. Still shows it, but a little bit differently. Not as much snowfall in that system, more further to the northeast. But then we drop down another 6 hours. Literally, we talk to ourselves, a lot of these recent models you can see here. We're literally dropping multiple runs here of GFS, and it's showing continuous support of a potential winter system across portions here of the east. That's something that's kind of catching my eye a little bit. So now we're taking a look here at a different model. This one's known as the CMC model. We track our way down here in time. Now there is a little bit of similarities and differences. So first of all, that big blast of cold air drives its way down here from the north, from the Canadian Maritime into the continental United States region. There you go. Snow starting to fall across the Midwest, but there is a big difference. That low pressure system tracks a lot more higher to the north compared to what the GFS showed kind of more of a nor'easter type of event. But it still could deliver some snow for areas here towards the Midwest, into the Ohio Valley, maybe even portions here of the Northeast, just before Christmas. So now that's two models talking about this system could potentially exist. Alrighty guys, so I had to switch to a different website because the previous one we were just looking at does not support the European model. Now there is something very interesting about this in particular model. We'll take a look here down in time. So anyways, we track our way down in time. There you go, big blast of cold air starts moving its way across the region, and this one also does support a winter system driving through the central U.S. into portions of the Midwest, maybe into portions of the Ohio Valley, and portions here of the Northeast potentially. So, you know what? So what have we learned so far from this? Well, all the models we talked about, all the models we looked at, including some major, major world models, does show some support here of a winter system driving its way down across the country. So that's going to be something we need to keep on the back burner, to keep an eye out here for, as we are getting closer to these dates. So that's about a week out or so. So we'll just continue to watch the models, and if anything kind of changes, we'll let you guys know about it. Now, the last thing I want to take a look here at in this video is basically those temperatures. I was telling you guys we are going to have a big blast of cold air driving its way down across portions of the country. So we're taking a look here at the National Weather Service blends of models. Basically takes a whole bunch of models, averages, and kind of blends them together, giving them a good standpoint in terms of what the models have to say. Anyways, we track our way down here in time. Here you go. We got ourselves a big blast of cold air driving its way down across the country. Once again, a lot of areas here in the north potentially could see those temperatures maybe into the -10s to -20s. Now, there is a few models. Hint, the GFS model we'll actually take a look at here really, really briefly, does actually support this as well. If we take a look at this, you can see how we have the potential of maybe even those temperatures getting towards the -30s mark. So once again, we're going to have to brace for some very, very cold temperatures. It actually shows that below 0 point, driving all the way down to portions here like Kansas and Missouri. So that's going to be very, very cold if this does play out. And like I said, this has actually been in the models for the last several days, so that alone is a little bit concerning. But anyways, my friends, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap up the quick little video for y'all. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, really not much of a long video here for today. I just want to give you guys an update regarding the potential winter system we could see across the country, as well as this cold temperatures that's going to be impacting millions down here down the line. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up regarding such. We are going to be live here later on tonight, probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock, so I hope to see you guys there. But anyways, my friends, once again, thank you all for joining us, and I'll catch you guys here in the next one. Peace out, y'all.